In FCAM2012R2, users now have the ability to take their face mills and use them for chamfer operations. So this means that if you have an indexable or insertable face mill tool that has an angle on it that represents the same angle as your chamfer, you can use that face mill tool to machine those chamfer areas. The main benefit here, of course, is that you then have a minimum number of tools that are required to machine the part. So in this example you can see I've got a number of operations already pre-created, so I've got some facing, some chamfering, some hole drilling. So what we're going to do is just play the simulation. This is a cast part, we just want to machine some of these parts. So I'm just going to do a single step, and you'll notice that we get standard default face mill. So we get the facing operation, index is over, machines on this side, I get some chamfering there, a bit of spot drilling, hole drilling, and then we're back to the top to chamfer that part. So this means that I've been able to use the different tools for different operations, but what I want to really do is to actually utilize a face mill to machine as much of this part as I can do. So if we look at the tool mapping, you can see we've got 5 tools being selected in this case, and we're going to try and minimize that down. So first thing I'm going to do is go to that facing operation, and note in this case you've got face finish, and the tool it's selected is the default inches tool. So I'm going to grab the 32mm tool and make a copy of this. So I'm going to select this one, and we're going to say create a copy, and I'm going to call this one face mill, but then I'm going to give it a chamfered edge, so I'll call it CH3. I'm going to say it's got a chamfer with an effective diameter of 26mm. I'm going to leave the tip radius as blank, just apply that, and you'll notice I get a chamfer on my tool like so. So I'm going to say set that new tool as override, yes. So I'm now using that chamfered tool for my facing operation. So this is now in the list, you can see at the top here with the override. So I can now use this tool to override all of the other operations. So at the moment they're using their default tools. If I do a shift select and say override with that face mill, say yes, play the simulation, and you can see if I play the first operation, we can see we've got a facing operation. Click the next operation and we can see we're chamfering with that same tool, so we minimize the number of tool changes in this case. Continuing round, you can see I've got a facing operation on this face, and you see I've got a chamfer operation, but in this particular instance this tight internal corner means the tool is too large to machine that particular chamfer. However, FaceAndChamfer is intelligent enough to know that's the case. If I actually stop the simulation, just look at the results, you can see I've got a warning here, and it does tell me that the face mill can't cut the chamfer, so it is aware that the tool is too large. Double click, sure enough it says that in the operations list, so if I printed out my operations setup sheet I would at least have a fair warning of any issues. So I can always revert back to the original tool, so let's go back to the operation, and in this case I'm just going to undo the override, back to that small chamfering tool, play the simulation, and I get it finished like so. Into the tool mapping, and I can see I've minimized it down to 4 tools in this example.